Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will move quickly to the next segment, which is building value chains, feeding Nigeria, feeding Africa. Increased agricultural production is an integral part of the national economic agenda that ultimately must be executed by the states. In Ogun State, we have the unique advantage of the closest proximity to the largest consumer market in the country, being the gateway to the West African sub-region and hosting the largest industrial base in the country with notable strength in the food, beverage, home, and personal care segments. In addition, we have fertile land, which is currently underutilized and low yielding. In order, therefore, to optimize the opportunities within the agricultural sector, Ogun State must increase production volumes, consistently deliver higher quality produce, and build the infrastructure to enable this output reach its potentially diverse range of end users. Ogun State will articulate its efforts in this regard. I would like to invite on stage our lead discussant, the Honorable Minister, Agriculture and Rural Development, Chief Audu Ogwe.
Open this thing. Open from here. Open this thing now. Open like this.
Other panelists are Mauricio Alacon, Managing Director, CEO, Nestle Nigeria. Mr. Tokumbo Aromolaro, Executive Director, Stallion Group. Aaron Baldwin, Group Head, Agronomy and Farming, Flour Mills Nigeria PLC. Ajibola Adebutu, Managing Director, JB Group. And Chaim Zak, Managing Director, CEO, Agritech Poultry. Our moderator for this segment is Mr. Adeola Adetunji. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for now may I invite Mrs. Adepeju Adebajo, Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, to share with us the Ogun State opportunity.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCO and SAN, permit me to stand on existing protocols. His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari made a profound statement in April 2017 at the launch of the Economic Growth and Recovery Plan. He said, and I quote, "We must grow what we eat and consume what we produce." This seemingly obvious truth underscores the importance of agriculture and agribusiness to the national agenda. Agriculture represents the opportunity for diversification and growth of the non-oil economy, import substitution, food security, national security, and foreign exchange conservation. Growing what we eat stops needless importation and discourages smuggling and provides employment for our youthful population. The agriculture panel scheduled for today and tomorrow will discuss the Ogun State opportunity as it relates to this critical segment. Agriculture production and industrialization is one of the 5 cardinal programs of this administration's mission to rebuild Ogun State. This morning's panel will examine the challenges and opportunities towards achieving this goal, while tomorrow's panel will explore the emerging and diverse agricultural ecosystem and the key roles played by service providers, the retail sector, as well as that of innovation and technology. Nigeria has supply deficits in many key value chains, and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture statistics for 2016 indicate that the deficit for rice was 4 million tons, though decreasing, for fish 1.9 million tons, and for tomatoes 1.4 million tons. In the past, this gap was filled by importation and smuggling. We firmly believe that Ogun State is key to the country's bid to self-sufficiency. As the gateway state to Lagos and the Southwest with a population of 40 million people, and the gateway to the neighboring West African countries with a population of about 200 million people, Ogun State is poised to become an agricultural powerhouse in West Africa. In addition, with Ogun State being the industrial capital of the country, there is strong demand from industrial users for backward integration and supply of raw materials. Our strategy, and I would like to believe that we're one of the few states, maybe the only state, to articulate our strategy and policy interventions, is to close the demand-supply gap through effective collaboration between the public and private sector in value chains where we have comparative advantage. Given our strategic location and logistics advantage, we have prioritized high-value foods and cash crops, traditional tree crops, and crops with export potential. These value chains include proteins such as fish, poultry, and beef, high nutritional foods such as fruits and vegetables, staple food crops such as rice and cassava, and export and cash crops such as oil palm, cocoa, and cashew. This also includes the opportunity for long staple cotton, the best in Nigeria. This is not to say that other crops do not thrive in the state, but that we believe a focused strategy will yield better results. Our strategy is anchored on 3 pillars of intervention, the first being support to farmers and firms. With farmers and firms, there are 4 areas. The first is to streamline the process of land allocation and ensure equitable relationships between landowners and investors. The second is the government will provide various subsidies to facilitate access to quality inputs, facilitate access to cleared land, for example, with the recent purchase of 22 bulldozers, to facilitate access to mechanization services, for example, through our recent setting up of 2 tractor hiring centers, to facilitate access to single-digit financing and extension services. For example, we recently trained over 25,000 farmers in good agricultural partnerships. The third is a deliberate clustering approach to provide contiguous land for strategic value chains, making it easier to provide services to farms. For example, we're creating a 2,000-hectare cassava farm at Owo, with more planned, and facilitating the organization of farmers into cooperative groups. And lastly, we ensure ready markets by facilitating productive alliances between farmers and guaranteed off-takers. The second pillar of our strategy is to address the need for agricultural-related infrastructure to facilitate access to markets. The Ogun State government has commissioned new feeder and rural roads through her state programs and the World Bank-supported Rural Access Mobility Program, RAMP. This will help open up production areas and improve logistics for farmers, especially in the newly formed clusters. The state also recognizes the need for irrigation schemes and modern farming practices, such as high-tech greenhouses.